Hi once again then folks, and welcome to, of course, build number 4 of 10 in this month's Special Projects Pack number 2 that I'm doing. This time, a car which I know some of you were looking forward to, the Lancia Stratos Rally Car. For those who are curious, we are indeed using the Gran Turismo 6 stats as a reference rather than real life. So 277 horsepower, 880 kilos. It sits at quite a nice performance point level with the dirt tyres, so it's not too crazy, and I can say, spoiler alert, it's a very good car. In fact, I would say it's kind of better now with the way the physics work in GT7 than it was back in Gran Turismo 6. Because some of you may recall when I used to review the rally cars in that game, I didn't think the Stratos was that great because the rear-wheel drive really let it down, whereas now it feels much more accurate to what I assume would have made it so good in real life, which is the manoeuvrability, whereas in the older games it just felt like you couldn't really get the power down. So as far as the tuning and the visuals, I will of course flash up on screen the name of the player who did the design for this one, and you can find a link right below in the description to grab that straight to your library via the website version of Gran Turismo 7. So as far as the tuning goes, it's pretty simple as well, because again, we haven't gone for crazy power or weight. You want your stage 1 weight. It has comfort tyres as standard, but of course we won't be needing those. As far as club sports, we've got the high lift cams even. Stage 2 weight, power restrictor, dirt tyres, naturally, and the ballast as well. For the semi-racing stuff, you want your fully customised computer, your racing crank. I've gone for the low RPM turbo for 2 reasons. One, of course, to get us to the right amount of power, and secondly, because that low RPM turbo is really good for a rally car. It gives you next to zero lag compared to even a mid-range or a high-range. As far as the rest, we've got the fully customised limited slip diff. Like I usually say, you could go for the rigidity if you want to. It is a competition car at the end of the day. We've gone for the stroked out engine, balance tuning, polished ports, the race intercooler, filter, silencer, manifold, pads and discs, the fully customised suspension, transmission, and the clutch and flywheel. And then as far as the extreme stuff, I actually have fitted the steering angle and the hydraulic handbrake. It's not a drift car, of course, but it is a rally car, so the extra manoeuvrability of these, if you do want to use the handbrake or if you just want a better steering angle, those could come in quite handy. So now to bypass the visuals, because like I said, just download it straight from the community, you don't need to fit any crazy wings or anything to it. If we then jump into the settings section, don't be too surprised if you use this video in future, say a couple of months down the line, if your point level is different, because that often happens after updates, so don't be too concerned about that. And let's be honest, in this game, the points don't really matter too much when it comes to rallying. I mean, rallying doesn't matter too much, unfortunately, in this game. So we've got the dirt tyres fitted. The suspension, of course, is fully customised. For the ride height, I've gone for midway, which is not too high, not too low. They've gone for 5 on anti-roll, 36 for compression with 42 on the rebound, 2.25 for frequency, half a degree of camber on the back, 1 degree on the front, and then for the toe, you want towed out 0.5 on the front and towed in 0.5 on the rear, as usual for stability. As far as the diff, the lowest initial torque, and I've opted for the highest acceleration and the highest braking. It's a pretty aggressive approach to a diff, so it might not work for everyone, but give it a try. Before you change anything, try this out, and if you don't like it, then of course you could change it. Then as far as the transmission, it's a very, very close ratio box. So technically, it's not even technically 150 miles an hour, technically. So if you want it to get a better top speed, of course you could stretch that out a bit more, but yeah, that's down to you. As far as the rest, for the ballast, that is fitted, but only 8 kilos of it, and that's just to bring us up to the weight in Gran Turismo 6. Then that's put all the way to the front, not that it makes too much of a difference anyway. As far as the power restrictor, that is untouched. The ECU is set to 93 though, to get us to 277 horses, with of course the low turbo, the racing disc, racing silencer, pads, handbrake, and of course the steering angle adapter with our racing clutch, and then the other parts here, as you can see. So now if we jump over to, of course, a dirt track, so you can see what it looks like in practice. This is, I will say, probably one of the builds of the week, which I think some of you will enjoy the most, because it's just such a pleasant, easy car to work with. And like I said earlier on, it's kind of better now than I think it would have been in Gran Turismo 6, because in GT6, any rally car that wasn't four-wheel drive just felt really neutered on any kind of dirt or snow circuit because you couldn't get as much power down. Whereas now, This thing is tremendously quick. If you compare the lap times on this thing to even something like that 911 rally car that I did last month, this is not far off the performance that has. So this is a seriously quick little car, and I'm actually really happy about that, because that means I did it properly. You know, if I'm replicating a rally car, it should be that quick. So I'm really happy that it turned out this well, and of course, if you do want to use the build, I hope you have a ton of fun with it, give the creator of the design some love, and of course be sure to check out the other special projects builds that I'm doing this week, both the ones still to come, and the ones that I've already done. So, of course, stick around for those, and until next time I'll see you then, but for now, as always, thanks for watching.